Hey actors, demo reels are earned, not paid for. Hey everyone, I'm Matthew Cornwell with Get Taped here in Atlanta, Georgia, one of the original audition taping services here in Atlanta. Now on to our topic. There are many common questions about demo reels that I'll answer towards the end of our video, so please stick around, including the length of a demo reel, the order of your clips, whether to use titles, and of course, I'll address that teaser I had at the beginning of the video. But I want to start with the nuances of how each scene on your demo reel is edited. This little nuance is one of the most overlooked characteristics of a good demo reel, and it can make or break it. The bottom line is your editor needs to understand that there is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to demo reel editing for actors. The reel is an extension of your brand. Next to your headshot, it's one of the first things that a potential buyer is going to see that represents your brand. And by buyer, I just mean anyone that might potentially hire you. So all the elements that go into editing a reel should be the result of a conversation between you and your editor. Because it's not about their brand, it's about your brand. So if they're just doing a cookie cutter editing of your reel like they do for everyone else, then you might want to find a different editor. Hint, we do demo reel editing. Not all demo reel editors are created equal. All the decent ones know that your demo reel should feature you as the actor. Every clip should start with your face and, if possible, end with your face. But there's so much more to the nuance of editing an actual scene. Let's see an example. In this clip from the movie I, Tonya, our client, Meg Gillentine, has a phone call scene that lasts just over a minute in the finished movie. Now, a lot of that footage is superfluous as it relates to a demo reel. It's a lot of extra cutaways to the other actors or dialogue between the other two actors that doesn't really affect her. So it wouldn't make sense to include the full minute clip in her finished demo reel. Well, my amazing wife, Brooke Shea Taylor, who does all of our demo reel editing, was able to take the scene and edit it down to less than 30 seconds, preserving all of Meg's great footage and getting rid of that extra footage of the other actors that was not necessary for her clip. This involved not only just cutting out pieces of the footage, but actually shifting the audio around to make it smooth. This is a skill that not many demo reel editors possess. The result is a flawless scene that really highlights Meg.
Jeff, Ann Schott, CBS Sports. I've got this letter, and I'd like to show it to you in exchange for an interview with Tonya.
What kind of letter, Ann?
Bizarre. It says Tonya Harding, number 1,
Hold
Jeff
on.
Galooly, number
Who is
2, Sean Eckhart, number 3, Nancy Kerrigan, number 4.
Who sent you this letter?
It was mailed from someone who calls herself Jane, but Jeff, she says it was Sean Eckhart's dad.
Happy to come down for an interview.
Excellent.
I invite you to check out Meg's full demo reel on our YouTube channel, as well as the other examples we have on our playlist of demo reels. That's the type of attention that a good editor will give to you when editing your demo reel. Yes, we want to see the amazing celebrities that you've shared the screen with, but the goal of the finished product for your demo reel is to highlight you as much as possible. Sometimes editing your clip means getting rid of some of your footage, which is very hard for actors to deal with initially, because you want every second of your footage to make it onto the demo reel. But here's the thing, casting directors, agents, directors, producers, showrunners, they don't care. They don't need to see every single moment of your footage on screen. And they certainly, and hear this, do not care about the context of the scene. They don't need to know the story, the subtext, the setup that led to your scene. None of that is important. People watching your reel are interested in the actors you were opposite, the projects you were in, and your overall brand. In other words, how can I cast you in the future? None of that has anything to do with the storyline of the clips themselves. Now, as promised, let me cover some of the common questions that come up in regards to demo reels. First, how long should it be? Well, the conventional wisdom nowadays is somewhere in the range of 1 to 2 minutes. If you don't have a lot of clips, keep it on the shorter side of a minute. Your individual clips shouldn't be 45 seconds long. If you have a lot more projects under your belt, well, then your demo reel will necessarily be a little bit longer. But keep in mind, if your demo reel is longer than 2 minutes, people just might not watch it. Or they won't watch the whole thing. Which leads me to the next point. What order should they be in? Should you save your best clip for last or put it at the beginning? Well, if there's a chance that we'll never get to the end, you should probably put your better stuff towards the beginning. It might mean that your first clip is when you were opposite an Academy Award-winning actor. It might mean it's the clip where you were in that huge $150 million blockbuster budget movie. Or it might mean that one time you got a guest star credit on a television show, or it was your first recurring role etc. There's no hard and fast answer to the order of your clips. Likewise, when it comes to titles, whether to include them or not, what font to use, whether you should put a headshot at the beginning or at the end. All of that stuff is dependent on you and your brand, and thus it should be something that comes up in conversation between you and your agent or you and your editor. One note about how to get your clips. Actors ask us all the time, hey, how do I get my clip from such and such TV show or this commercial I did 15 years ago? Check out the description below. We know a guy that is able to find just about anything anywhere, and he only charges $10 per scene. And the last thing I want to touch on is what to include as it relates to web series, student films, or scenes that you actually pay to have made for you. When it comes to web series or student films, if the material looks great, and I mean when you put it side by side to a full budget network or studio production, you can't tell the difference, well then include it. But as your resume gets longer, you should let some of that old stuff drop off the edge. If it's really good, or if it still represents a part of your brand that you don't often get to explore, like let's say almost all of your demo reel is drama, but there's that one student film you did that really shows off your comedic side, well, then you can leave it as a clip on your Actors Access or your YouTube channel or your Vimeo channel, and that way it's still accessible, but it's not necessarily part of your finished demo reel. And speaking of clips, some cast directors prefer clips on your Actors Access. Some prefer a demo reel on your Actors Access. So if you're at a point where you have enough footage for a demo reel, then you might as well put both up on Actors Access or your other websites to satisfy everyone. Now, other questions about whether you should have a separate one for comedy and drama, should you have a character one, should you have a TV one versus a film one, are again conversations you should be having with your team and with your editor. And the last piece of this that goes back to the teaser at the beginning is whether or not you should pay to have a custom-made scene done for your demo reel. Well, my teaser was a direct quote from a casting director here in the Southeast, George Pierre. At a Q&A, someone asked him about those services that charge you $300, $800, $1,000 to custom make a scene for your demo reel, to which he responded, well, demo reels are earned. They're not paid for. And what he's basically saying is that when he's watching a demo reel, when any casting director is watching a demo reel, what they're looking at is how other people have entrusted you in a high-stakes situation on their project. So when you pay to have a scene made for you, it doesn't really show how other people have put their trust in you when it comes to a high-stakes situation like a television show or a movie. Now, if you pay for a scene and it's indiscernible from a high-budget television show or movie, well, then more power to you. But unless you can guarantee that, well, then a scene that you pay for might end up doing more harm than good. So buyer beware. So that's it for our demo reel overview. Don't forget that we put some helpful links in the description below. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. That lets us know that you're enjoying our weekly content. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on set.